Alright, let's give this parabolas section another try, just hitting some of the high points here. So some of the things that we talked about, parabola is a conic. Y equals a times x minus h squared plus k is the vertex form because the vertex is h comma k. If a is positive, it's going to open up. If a is negative, it's going to open down. First thing I guess I want to do is I want to revisit this idea that we've got a directrix and a focus, and our parabola is the collection of points equidistant from those two. So let's just say I had a focus of 2 comma 3 and a directrix of y equals negative 4. So the distance formula distance from our focus should be the same as the distance from our directrix. So let's see. I'm going to let the point x comma y be a point on the parabola. Okay, so let's find the distance between these. So the distance between my focus and my point on my parabola. Let's see, let's fill in my point from my parabola first. And my focus, 2 comma 3. And that should be equal to the distance from my point on my parabola. And my directrix, let's see, my directrix, I know right now that y has to be negative 1 or negative 4, but if I'm thinking about what this is going to look like visually, my directrix is down here. If I've got some point, I have to measure perpendicular to that, so I know if this is x comma y, this point has to have the same x value. So I can go back and I can put in x right there. Okay, let's go ahead and let's simplify this a little bit. Let's see what happens. I want to square both sides to get rid of my square root. X minus 2 squared plus y minus 3 quantity squared equals x minus x is 0. And I'm going to replace y minus negative 4 with y plus 4. Okay, now, if I think about what's going on here, there's my directrix, there's my focus. My parabola should open up, which means that I should have x squared. Y should not be squared. So I'm going to work with my y's and I'm going to see what happens here. So first thing, I don't need that. I'm going to leave x minus 2 squared alone. I'm going to take this y minus 3, and I could write it twice in FOIL, or I could remember square double square. And that has to be equal to square double square again. First term squared plus multiply the two together, I get 4y. Double that gives me 8y. Plus last term squared is 16. If I did everything correct, my y squareds all cancel out. Now while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to move all my y's to the same side. And I'm going to go ahead and move my constants to the other side. So it looks like on the right, I get 14y equals, let's see, x minus 2 quantity squared minus 7. And I'm going to divide by 14. Or, on this left side, since I've got 2 pieces, 2 terms, I'm going to multiply by 1/14 and distribute. First term, 1/14, x minus 2 squared minus 7 over 14 would be 1/2 equals y. There's my vertex form. I can look at this and I know I've got a vertex of 2 comma negative 1/2. This tells me that it opens up, and that 1/14 that's less than 1, it's going to be a very wide parabola. So it looks like I've got everything I need. I've got my equation, and we are all set. Last thing that I want to talk about is I want to talk about this idea of 1 over 4a. This is the distance from the vertex through the focus, and it's also the distance from the vertex to the directrix. So let's take a look at here. I'm going to pull one off your assignment. Which one did I want to take a look at? I want to take a look at number 14, which was y minus 1 equals negative 3 times x plus 3 squared. And I'm going to rearrange that. I'm going to add 1 to both sides so that I can get it in my vertex form. Y equals negative 3 times x minus negative 3. I'm going to switch it up to plus 1. Tells me h is negative 3, k is 1. So I've got a vertex of negative 3 comma 1. Alright, I have also got an a of negative 3, so I know that my parabola is going to open down. There's my vertex. It's going to open something like this. Real rough sketch. Okay, so I want to find this 1 over 4a value. Well, a is negative 3. Negative 1/12 tells me that my focus is negative 1/12 above my vertex, or it's 1/12 below my vertex. So let's see this, and I go down 1/12. My x value doesn't change. 1 minus 1/12 gives me 11/12. And my directrix should be 1/12 above my focus. It's going to be a horizontal line, so it's y equals, and 1/12 above 1 is 13/12. So from that, I found my focus and my directrix.